I'm Amy Zawi with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for Wednesday, August 24th. It's not because you're Jewish, it's because of Israel. Well, anti-Semitism manifests no matter how you package it. Recently, I came across a most disturbing article about a particular incident at the SUNY, State University of New York at New Paltz, which is in upstate New York. There, 2 Jewish women students were point-blank discriminated against and harassed simply for being Jewish and having a connection to the Holy Land, the land of Israel. Not only that, they were discriminated against by being denied vital mental health services designed to be inclusive and safe. This reminds me a little bit of that Women's March back in 2018, where the leadership there told Zionist women that they are neither feminists nor welcome. Israeli and Jewish women are likely among the most progressive and forward-thinking population of women in a culture that values women regardless of ethnicity, color, or heritage. This incident at SUNY is not isolated, but illustrative of what is happening on college campuses throughout the Western world. The false narrative against the modern state of Israel is providing a haven and incubator for anti-Semitism to flourish under the noses of, and with the blessing of, so-called progressive liberals. Meanwhile, Jewish students on college campuses suffer greatly. In this case, these 2 women were denied the opportunity for healing after being victims of sexual assault, a crime. The 2 women were seeking support within the group, where they were then ostracized and bullied by members of the group after the members learned of their identities and outlooks regarding Israel. The women, whose last names are Priest and Blodner, are referred to in the article, and to quote a portion, both Priest and Blodner were then subjected to anti-Semitic harassment and bullying online by the group's members. They threatened to spit on them in public, and they called the women, quote, dumb B-word, and that the women support mass genocide. To add insult to now 2 injuries, the school itself has done nothing in response to the group or the hostile individuals. And it has been nearly 10 months when this all came to light. The girls requested additional security, and that was denied. Quote, the university declined Blotner's request for security escort to accompany her to class and advised her not to attend. This according to the Brandeis Center. Unable to attend class safely, Blotner left campus to be with her family. The hostile anti-Semitic atmosphere for Jewish Zionist sexual assault survivors brewing on campus after the support group posts caused Priest to feel so anxious about her safety that she was unable to attend class, unquote. Let us remind everybody about the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, part of which includes holding Jews or Israel to a different standard than others, as well as blaming Jews individually for political activity of a national government, the Israeli government. We don't see this support group ousting any Russian students who are sympathizing with Putin, of which there could be many. We don't see the multitude of Chinese students who are often under the behest of the Confucian Institute on campuses being ousted from community groups due to their connection to the communist, oppressive, and human right abusing Chinese government, nor should we. But how much more obvious can we get that folks with an anti-Zionist agenda are purely anti-Semitic and they have simply found a socially acceptable way to express it? What happens in the quads of local universities will trickle up to the world stage. But prayerfully and hopefully we will advocate for watchdogs worldwide to call out anti-Semitism where we see it and hear it. Case in point, in Germany earlier this month, Palestinian Authority President Abbas made public statements on stage with Germany's chancellor, and he trivialized the Holocaust and then went on to liken it erroneously to about 50 different clashes that occurred in Israel over the last few decades. In Germany, it is actually a crime to deny or trivialize the Holocaust. The result is a police inquiry has been opened to investigate this happening. While heads of states are immune from criminal prosecution in Germany when in country on official business, Germany does not actually recognize the PA as a sovereign nation. Legal experts are on the case. Meanwhile, German citizens not only immediately took offense to Abba's comments, they also rallied against their own chancellor for allowing the comments to go unchecked in that public forum. German citizens, including Jewish citizens and descendants of the Holocaust victims, were outraged at the comments of the PA, not just of the PA's Abbas's comments that are on par with his character history and even his college dissertations. The anger is at the chancellor for not taking this opportunity at the podium immediately to publicly address the vitriolic and hateful words of Abbas just as they were being uttered. Many Germans are upset because of this with their own leadership. Recognizing anti-Semitism is the first step in combating it. While anti-Semitism in Germany is still alive and well, I have reported in the past that the mayor of Berlin has been quite proactive in working against it. For example, passing regulations that no anti-Semitic or BDS-related organization can use or rent public spaces for their meetings and events. Well, I am not seeing the feminist or Me Too movements pick up these heinous stories about Jewish women or men who are being not just denied but harassed out of support services just because they were Jewish. I am glad that this incident in Germany received more press than I would have expected. The Associated Press report was picked up by ABC News, a mainstream U.S. news service, while the World News Israel, the JNS, and the Jerusalem Post, among others, all reported on this in their publication and posted those reports to their social media pages. We need to all continue to address anti-Semitism in our own communities while being aware of and willing to expose it wherever we find it, even in a newspaper a half a world away. Sharing it to your social media pages exposes your network to the news so that they are aware of and can take action however they are able, including resharing the posts with these vital news stories that are otherwise overlooked. Shavua Tov, and have a great